What fictional character do you absolutely hate? Myrtle from Lilo and Stitch. She constantly picks on Lilo. And when she finally retaliates, Myrtle plays the victim. I hate her with all my being. Duck that little piece of crap. I was gonna say that Ramsay Bolton would be among the most hated Game of Thrones character, but now I think Joffrey Baratheon would be the absolute worst as a character. Caleb from King of the Hill. Dusty old bones. Full of green dust. There was a show on Nickelodeon called As Told by Ginger. The main character, Ginger. Her best friend was named Dodie. Well, let me tell ya, Duck Dodie. All she wants is to be popular and would slash and has backstabbed Ginger. Now the rich girl in the show, Courtney, was a witch in her own way, but throughout the series, became friends with Ginger. She treated her better than her original friend Dodie. Courtney always had Ginger's back at it. The funny thing is that my favorite character in the show was Miranda, who was the biggest witch ever, but she made it up with her witchy hilarious attitude. That little smart-mouthed kid with glasses from Polar Express. Gay Bugliano from Percy Jackson. Guy's abusive asshole. Got everything he deserved. The governor in the Walking Dead comics. I was physically angry reading those comics. Ducking Vogler from House MD. He just used his economic power to gain social power in the form of being a board member of the hospital and didn't actually care about patients. Kay Wine from Deep Space Nine. She was the worst. Bobule from To Kill a Mockingbird. Easily the most despisable villain of all time. Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. A cold, heartless tyrant rather than the carriage Ivor a nurse is expected to be. She's the personification of the dehumanizing effect of living under authoritarian rule. Lotso from Toy Story is the bane of my existence. r/Takaya Lotso. That cowardly, weird lie. Rat-faced looking, ducking little witch Percy Wetmore from the Green Mile. Duck that little crap. The popular kids in Lilo and Stitch. Wormtail. Dr. Mann from Interstellar. He was such a coward. The mother figure in Tangled. Gothel. She reminds me of the worst traits of my ex-wife. The passive-aggressive comments and put-downs, with an I'm just kidding excuse behind it all. The manipulation and guilt trips. And elitism. I love a good villain, but this one hits too close to home for me. When you've seen that kind of attitude in real life, it is sickening to see being portrayed on TV. Abigail Williams. Read The Crucible in high school, and I still hate that witch. Maven Blackbriar from Skyrim. Little crap is corrupt and her meat tastes like Falmer piss. Edit. Thanks for the gold. As cheesy and cliched as it might be, you spend actual money on some stranger ranting about why he hates some video game character, and for that, I salute to you. Commodus from Gladiator. I hate this guy. He's absolutely the worst cheating, abusive, untrustable lying pose of a traitor. This character is so well written and acted that to this day, I still resent viewing the actor even in other roles. The duck from the Duck Song. For some reason Reddit loves him, but all he did was give that poor lemonade vendor a hard time. Like, he's a grown man selling lemonade. His life is already hard enough, so there's no need to be a stick. Nazim. I've been to the Cloud District, Nazim. Never saw you there. The circus ringmaster from Atla. When Appa was kidnapped, and everyone else who was involved in that trade. Vernon Dursley from Harry Potter. Screw that guy. General Ponkrell. Traitor scum. The Charmin Bears. I don't want to hear a kid sing about his $$. Robert the Bruce's father in Brotherhood. Enough said. Dinklerberg. That old prick in The Last Airbender, that turned in the Earthbender, that saved his life, and got him sent to prison. He was a piece of crap. Shoutaka from FMA/FMA. B. Archero from Money Heist, but who doesn't? General Ponkrell murderer. That smug bastard Squilliam Fansizen. Cyrus. That stick is ducked in the head. The spoiled girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Screw that little ass prick. Mr. Ezra Fitz from Pretty Little Liars. The whole teacher/high school student romance was gross and creepy. But the show framed it as this sexy forbidden romance. McCaducking Bell. That backstabbing, manipulative ducker. Also, Mindy from Snow Point City. In the Sinopokemon games. She trades you a Haunter, but it's holding an Everstone, so you don't get Jenga. Duck Mindy. And everyone who looks like Mindy. Mindy sucks. Is everyone in The Great Gatsby too broad a stroke? Saul's brother Chuck from Better Call Saul. Rita ducking Skeeter. Honestly, I think that Mr. Krabs in some of the later seasons was one of the most pretentious, selfish and borderline psychopathic fictional characters. How he tormented Plankton and abused SpongeBob's ignorance really infuriated me. Like he started off as your typical cheapskate boss, but he became such a stickhead later, and his character really pissed me off. His cheap side was exaggerated, and he became a character that forced Plankton into hiding at some point. Can't remember the episode name. But what pissed me off the most is the fact that he always got away with it. Todd Packer from The Office. I don't exactly hate her. Just a very general disliking. Lori Grimes. Everyone from Wuthering Heights. Carrie Bradshaw. I remember that one time her husband just wanted to chill out, and she made a big stink about going to some event. She's the epitome of a me person. Carly from The Inbetweeners. She led poor Simon on for like a decade. Charles Minor from The Office. I cannot stand him. Not so much a single character as a trope. The super intelligent person who's always 5 steps ahead and never makes any mistakes. Strangely enough, I'm reading the complete Sherlock Holmes series right now, and he doesn't bother me as much as he does screw up on occasion. The Penguin from Wallace and Gromit. Scrappy ducking Dooman. Manny from Modern Family. His suave act was irritating when he was a kid, but he had some funny moments. As an adult it was just unbearable. Jen from The Office. The things she did to Michael were disgusting, and also was kind of a creep. I couldn't hate her more. Piper ducking Chapman. The most unlikable main character in any series ever. I'm so glad there were more story arcs besides hers. Peppa Pig. Mosh. Screw that guy. Sloane from Eragon. The father of Katrina is a lying awful witch-born piece of crap. An asshole and an absolute coward. Trish from Jessica Jones. Acts like she hated the spotlight her mom put her in, then spends all of her time being the victim and doing anything to stay relevant. Couldn't even handle the fact that Jessica had powers. Couldn't deal with the fact that she wasn't the special one in their friendship. Threw everything away and actively put them all in danger just so she could try and get powers. Hated every one of her scenes. I hate Stuart Little. Let's see who survives my attempted vehicular manslaughter. Me in a Ford F-150 or Stuart in his little RC car. Ra's al Ghul, on the face of it the guy is a pretty compelling villain. He does what he does for the good of mankind, even if it means doing the unspeakable. Unfortunately he absolutely needs to be the center of attention in everything he does. Other popular Batman villains like Joker or the Penguin can show up to cause chaos for a few scenes and then leave. They don't need to be a central part of the story. But with Raz, even the slightest mention of him means that the climax will have him show up and do the whole yes, it was I. My machinations lay undetected blah 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 blah. It's predictable and always ruins a good adventure for me. Firelord Oze. The youngest daughter of Brad Pitt in World War Z. I know she's like 3, but that girl got on me nerves the whole movie. Whining and crap. Lily Aldrin. It's ironic because I absolutely love Alyson Hannigan, but can't stand Lily. She left Marshall to pursue her passion in art across the country, then just expected him to take her back when it ended up failing. She sabotaged several of Ted's relationships because she didn't see how they would fit perfectly into her own life. She had thousands of dollars of credit card debt that she hid from Marshall when he was deciding on buying a new home. She just randomly steals things from people when she doesn't like something they did or said. Come to think of it, the only person out of the main 5 characters that seemed like a genuinely good guy was Marshall. Vampires in teen fiction are always creepy as duck. Centenarians hanging around schools trying to pick up underage girls. Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter is one of my most hated Forja. Grew to hate Lily from Him when I rewatched it and realized how often she meddles in her friends' lives, especially their relationships, just so she can get what she wants. Like breaking up your 2 best friends, just so you can have some better company for a fantasy game of cards way off in the future. Can't stand her. Ted Mosby. The dude tells a 9-year story about his ex-girlfriend to his kids. Geist is a story about how he met their mother. Bella from Twilight. And Edward too. He's a complete stalker and Bella for some reason likes that. And I'm mad that I wasted my time reading the first book. Literally the entire thing is just Bella developing a crush on Edward like, oh no I like him, but he's a vampire, and finally, the action happens in the last few chapters where some sadistic vampire hunts her down. By that point, I was rooting for him, not her. Everyone in those Shades of Grey books, they are just terribly written and pathetic weirdos. Also the couple in Wuthering Heights, both awful narcissists. Kayla is the biggest asshole ever. And I don't think I really need to explain any further tbh. This may be controversial for some Heathers fans, but JD from the movie Heathers, I think he's so annoying. I don't know how Veronica fell for him honestly. Like how can you choose him over Mr. Mosby? Oh, and I would also like to add Jeremy here to this list, because he was a straight up asshole. Like he ditched his best friend, like it was nothing, and when Mitchell was having a panic attack in the bathroom he was nowhere to be found. So much for to play a game. I wish he had a words fail moment where he genuinely apologized to Mitchell. Also he didn't deserve to end up with Christine cause she deserves way better than him. Edit. Thank you so much for the award app. Wow. That freeloading craplord Grandpa Joe hasn't been named yet. Duck that guy. Edit. Thank you /Notaman for the gold. I'm just sorry it had to come from mentioning that worthless duckhole Joe. Daisy Buchanan from The Great Gatsby. She's a spoiled, immature, entitled little brat who lead Gatsby on and then didn't bear any responsibility for the fallout. Infuriating. Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Tom could be just chilling, minding his own business. Then Jerry decides to be a ducker. Percy from Harry Potter. Yes, he eventually came back to his family, but he ignored them and treated everyone below him from what I remember. Angela Martin from The Office. It's not just that she's so uptight, but it's that she gives Pam crap, calling her the office mattress for dating 2 members of the office, when she also dated 2 members of the office and even cheated on both of them. Dinkleberg. I hate Brian from Family Guy with a passion. That episode where Quagmire absolutely ripped him a new asshole was porn to me. He's such a piece of crap. The Uruk-hai leader from Lord of the Rings. Duck you for killing Boromir. Aragorn didn't kill you slow enough. Dolores Umbridge. No doubt. Even more so than Bellatrix Lestrange.